Okay, it's live. That is so weird. There was like this long pause. It said going live, and then I got an error message. I guess I'm live. I guess they're leaving. There was a house that exploded. What the hell is that? What the? But I guess the helicopters are leaving. Oh my god! Did anybody die? Are people alive? How did it explode? Was it a propane tank? House explodes. Long Beach. What? Oh, Mama Mia. House exploded on the 2800 block of Gale Avenue just after 11 a.m. in Cali. Long Beach police. Likely related to a gas leak from an appliance. Holy shit. Damn! Did anybody die? I don't know what happened. Anyway. What's up, everybody? I want to get into the hurricane update. At first I was going to do this on the big screen, but let's do this. Yeah, let's do that. And there is a hurricane coming to Florida. By the way, Mr. Crip. Okay, Rasta Mike posted a video on his YouTube page saying the chase wasn't him. Have you seen it yet? I haven't seen it yet. Maybe we can watch it. But somebody tagged me and said it was some other guy with some dreads hanging from his head. I don't know. But let's cover the latest hurricane update. Hurricane Milton. They're saying now it's Category 5. The end of the world is coming. I was driving my mother to this doctor's appointment this morning, and I'm listening to the AM radio. You know I'm old. If you listen to the AM radio, you know you're old. I was listening to the AM radio because I don't want to hear all that bullshit on FM. You know, I actually want to hear news. And so I'm listening to the AM thing, and they're like, it's so bad that it's of biblical proportions. I'm like, damn, biblical? Revelations, like the end of the world. But they say this all the time. I don't think you should. I feel like people should be prepared because you never know. But I'm also not gonna freak out. Ah! Run, sir! You know what the first thing I saw today? I saw a car accident. I picked up my mother. We were driving back. These people, and first of all, most people in Florida cannot drive. That's one. Two, once it starts drizzling, not even like a thunderstorm or torrential downpour. Once it starts drizzling, these people lose their minds. This morning, it was like a light drizzle. These people are already going crazy. Oh, shit! Oh! Ah! Get into a car accident. Bueller. I know. I talked to Bueller last night. He's in North Carolina. We had a really good conversation. Maybe I'll call him towards the end of the stream. But I have plenty of supplies. I have a lot of water. I have a bunch of food here in the closet. The studio closet. I bought this gangster. You want to see the gangster grill I bought? Hold on. Let me show you guys this shit. Hold on. What's calling me? Mama, I gotta call you back. How about this gangster shit? Alright. Oh, this is 22 inches. I thought I got the 17-inch. Did I have it in the store? So we got this so we got this gangster shit and the propane tanks. All right, so we can grill. Ready? So I bought that big ass grill. We got the propane tank, and I think we're gonna be good. But they're saying Category 5. End of the world. This is one of the latest press conferences like an hour ago.
It's Category 5 out in
Category 5!
a very big hurricane that has reached Category 5 out in the Gulf that is heading towards us. We don't know exactly where it's going to hit, but it's going to hit somewhere in Central Florida. There's no doubt that we're going to be impacted. So I want to thank all of the news agencies for joining us today. And
I know that the retail companies are happy as hell. A hurricane's coming? Yes! Yes! Sales are up. People are purchasing all kinds of toilet paper purchases. Is at an all-time high? I didn't purchase any toilet paper, by the way.
my city council members that are here today, and I better turn around and look and see who it is. Commissioner Ortiz, Commissioner Stewart, Commissioner Sheehan, Commissioner Rose, Commissioner Burns, and Commissioner Gray. So they're all here. So I want to begin by thanking our community for taking Hurricane Milton seriously. As the storm intensifies, it's crucial that we prepare now. There's absolute certainty that we're going to feel the effects on Wednesday. It's going to be a serious threat. So you have today and tomorrow to get prepared. Do not wait until Wednesday morning and think it's not coming to the afternoon. Today and tomorrow, get ready for the hurricane. I've declared a state of emergency for the city of Orlando, which helps us to get ready as a municipal government. Our Emergency Operations Center plans to move to partial level 2 activation tomorrow. It'll move to level 1 full activation on Wednesday as we continue to monitor Milton's track. Communities around the state are preparing for Milton, and many of those same communities were severely impacted by Hurricane Helene a week or 2 weeks ago, I guess. At this point, I've been watching the news today and watching St. Pete and Tampa still trying to remove debris that was left there from 2 weeks ago. Here in Orlando, we have been consistently working.
We got school tomorrow now.
To prepare our community for potential storms. Lucy Phillip from our Public Works team.
Please listen to this important announcement. BCPS schools and district offices will be open on Tuesday, October 8th. However, district offices will close at Good afternoon, Broward County Public Schools students, families, and staff. Please listen to this important announcement. BCPS schools and district offices will be open on Tuesday, October 8th. However, district offices will close at 4 p.m. and all after-school activities, including evening classes, after-school care, and supper services are canceled. Given the uncertainty regarding Hurricane Milton's path and impact, schools and district offices will be closed on Wednesday, October 9th and Thursday, October 10th. All before and after school care services, activities, and events are canceled for both days. The Magnet Program Expo.
Right. So, in my area, apparently they're open tomorrow and closed on Wednesday. They're really trying to get it in. Do or die.
We'll share in a moment how our staff has been working to reduce potential impacts. City operations. All non-essential City of Orlando offices, including City Hall and services, will be closed Wednesday and Thursday. Solid waste update, important one for everybody. As you prepare your home, please remember to secure all yard debris, including branches and leaves.
Yeah, my apartment complex called me. These people, honestly, like they've been a little bit on my ass lately because I had this AC unit out of my window, and I have central AC, but in this room it gets really hot because of the computers, the 2 computers, the MacBook there, the 4 monitors, the 4K monitors, the battery backups, like the camera, the audio interface, the gangster audio thing I have, the other thing I have there on the, it creates a lot of heat in here. And so they called me like a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Like, sorry, we need you to take down the AC. It's like, okay, all right. I took it down, but now I put some other shit there. Now I have a portable AC, so that it's a smaller, low profile, inefficient, super expensive, electricity-wise to run, but I have that there. They haven't said nothing yet. And with all the problems that this community has, they should be worried about other things besides what's in my window. Anyway, they called me today and they're like, "Oh, hi, yeah, we're just giving the community manager, we're just giving you a personal call. The stuff on your balcony, if you could please like take it down." What? Are you calling all the other people in this community, or are you just calling me in this community? Because I have this gangster ass balcony with all these plants and all this. I was gonna bring it back. I was gonna push it back, but why are they calling me? You don't have nothing better to do? I don't know.
In bundles and bags, get them away from the curb, get them away from storm drains, get them away from roadways. Today and tomorrow, residential and commercial trash yard.
If I told you the stories, I would tell you some stories. I don't want to say it because I don't want people to look up the stories and then find out where I live. But if you're a personal friend, I'll tell you the fucking stories. 2 of them at least from this place. Well, the one that I can say, I have these new neighbors that live across from me, and it's been really weird. They moved in recently, and there's all these people coming in and out of the house. It's not just the residents that are there, like a gang of people. And I have cameras. After the last psychopath I had to deal with on the internet, I have cameras and stuff. And so it's like a caravan from across the border. All these people are coming in and out. And we've had some conversations. At some point, I'm like, how many people are living there? 10, 15 people? Maybe that's how they're affording the rent. All these people coming in and out. And it's like late at night, 12, 1, 2 in the morning, because my phone goes off. Like I get a notification because I want to know who's outside my door. So fucking 2, 3 in the morning, notifications going off. And the other day, I have it on video. There was even a child as a 1 in the morning on a school night. I'm like, this 1 in the morning, it's a school night. Why are you walking around with this kid? And like 6, 7 people walked into that bitch. I'm like, what the hell? It's so weird to me. And then today, Hoke said, don't knock the hustle. And then today, there's like some prostitute looking woman. If you saw what I saw, you would say the same thing. I thought it was somebody like hired a hooker or something. This woman came in with the guy, and then she comes out by herself. Had like a BBL, her ass was almost hanging out of her. And I've never seen these people before. I'm like, how many friends and family do these people have? If it's friends and family, it's a really, really strange thing. And I'm apprehensive because somebody was like, oh, maybe I should report it. But I'm like, I don't know. What if I report it and these people, I don't know what their situation is. For now, I'm documenting and taking videos for now. Because if it keeps getting weird, maybe I'll have to report it. I don't want to have to deal with like people across from me having problems, but it's, you don't know what a BBL is?
Waste and recycling will be operating as normal. The city is planning to suspend residential and commercial garbage recycling and yard waste pickup starting Wednesday at noon. This depends on the operations of the Orange County landfill and weather conditions. Following Milton, depending on the weather and road conditions, the city will work to pick up missed garbage and yard waste, and we're currently having third-party contractors on standby to assist with debris collection. We will continue to provide updates throughout the storm on garbage yard and recycling schedules. We are asking to not place tree trimmings and loose waste near your curb. When we get localized flooding, often is because its storm drains have become clogged. Recreation centers. All of our neighborhood and rec centers and pools will be closed Wednesday and Thursday. Additionally, all sports and event activities at our centers and parks will be canceled for Wednesday and Thursday. Parking garage fee waivers. Starting at 6:00 a.m. on Wednesday, we will waive fees at 4 of our parking garages downtown: Central, Jefferson, Orange County Administration, and Library. That's Central, Jefferson, Orange County Administration, and Library. You can move your car into a covered garage. I know that there's been a lot of discussion about Teslas getting submerged and having issues, so if you want to put your car in a good, safe place, you can do it for free in one of our garages. You have to remove your car by noon on Friday. I want to share that we are working with our non-for-profit partners to ensure that those experiencing homelessness are safe during this time. The shelters will expand their capacity.
I saw Ron DeSantis's press conference this morning. I thought it was really informative, but right now it's like old news. Because earlier they were talking about Category 5. Now they're saying Category... Sorry. Earlier they said Category 4. Now they're talking about Category 5.
Capacity, and our homeless outreach teams and downtown ambassadors are already out on the streets providing weather information and directing our community's most vulnerable to the shelters. I want to close by encouraging every resident to take Hurricane Milton seriously and prepare. Review your hurricane plans, finalize your disaster kit, get your homes ready, stay informed and updated on the storm's track. And while we finalize our preparation, let's do what we do best and showcase our city's compassion by checking in on your neighbors, especially seniors and those with special needs, to see if they need assistance. And I know that after the storm, we'll do what we do best. We'll come together and move forward. Thank you. So now I'd like to call on our emergency manager, Manny Soto.
Thank you, sir. Okay. The Emergency Operations Center for the City of Orlando is actively monitoring the storm. We will go into a partial level 2 tomorrow and a full activation beginning around Wednesday at noon. We are collaborating with many of our key partners, local, state, and...
All right. I mean, it's kind of the same stuff. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. So we did that. We can watch some more, but I wanted to show you what's currently happening in Miami because people are very concerned and worried. And so I'm going to show you guys what's happening in Miami. Currently in Miami. Hey! Body bump! All right, I'm actually kidding. That's from like 6 years ago, but I thought that would be hilarious. That's how Florida basically sometimes they treat hurricanes, kind of, you know. Oh, they're about to do another press conference, right? Hurricane. Okay, it looks like there's a new press conference happening, so let's watch the newest one. That's what I want. Everybody get up! Ah! All right, so while we wait, there's a couple other clips that I want to show you guys. Let's just, I don't know what this is, a committee or something. Orange County storm update. Okay, so this is going to be the latest update. Let's wait for that to happen. By the way, people have been asking me about Sarah Boone. Mel, what's going to happen with Sarah Boone? And Mel, why aren't you covering it? And Mel, what's going on? Bro, they say we're about to die. I don't know, this is huge hurricane coming. Today they started jury selection, and Kathy Rousson, she's a really nice. I like her. Kathy Rousson, she's with Law and Crime. She said that the court would be closed on Wednesday due to Hurricane Milton, and see for the rest of the week. Delay to start jury selection. Didn't receive her clothes on time. Oh god, judge left on the bench. Whatever. So. It's not happening right now. Maybe at the end of the week or next week, it's getting pushed back. That's like the least of what Florida's probably worried about, Sarah Boone. You know, but at some point it's going to happen, I guess. There were some other things too. Let's see. Bro, I have to show you guys this for a second because you know how I am about airplanes. No, Mel, you overreact. Just like sharks. No, but it never happens. And statistically, it's safer to fly on a plane than drive in your car. I'd rather drive in my car. Look at this shit. What? What the? I guess the tire blew out or burned up.
It was cancelled. You know what you should say exactly? You know, last time the class was cancelled.
I don't have a generator now.
Scheduled it for tomorrow.
I have a bunch of battery chargers, and I have a propane tank that I can put the bath in. Almost 40 gallons of water and candles. I'm good. I'm not even in the path of it. Like, I mean, the thing is with the path, and this is what I tell people, the thing is with the path, it could change at any moment. So it's better to be prepared. You don't want to be caught with your pants down, you know, but I'm not in the direct eye of the hurricane, the path. I have family that's out there in Tampa. So my mother was supposed to reach out to them and call them today, but I'm not in the path. But it doesn't mean I could lose power, I could have bad weather, flooding, whatever. Oh, Wendy, good question. Wendy says, what will happen to the fishies if the power goes out? Well, this is my plan. I have my computer is hooked up to a battery backup under the desk. So if the power goes out, the computer stays running for as long, well, not that long, but it holds it up enough that I can do what I got to do, whatever. I also have a battery backup on my modem, because what does it matter if the computer's on if the modem power goes out? So what I figured is if I lose power, I'll disconnect the power grids on the computer and on the modem, and I'll use it for the fish tank to buy some time. And then after that, that's it. Rasta Mitch! Blood Nose. We should check that out. Let me pull it up in the meantime. Rasta! I haven't seen the video though. Rasta Mitch. How they gonna burn you and accuse you, Rasta Mitch? That's messed up. What's the name? Hey, Rasta Mitch. Which video on his channel? Okay, they're talking. Oh my god, that's the audio? Oh shit. We find this somewhere else? Oh. They're saying DeSantis is talking right now. Hold on. Let's do DeSantis. I don't know what this is. What? In a tin can.
Given there are a lot of can of field in St. There's going to be more Tampa Kerner, Florida Highway Patrol, Major General Haas, Florida National Guard, and Director Roger Young from Florida Fish and Wildlife. Hurricane Milton is expected to make landfall on the west coast of Florida as soon as Wednesday evening. Okay. The storm has moved a little slower than projected, but remember, don't get wedded to the cone. There will be impacts far outside the cone, and these cones can shift. And so there's not an approximation that you can hang your hat on about where this storm is actually going to make landfall. All folks on the west coast of the Florida Peninsula should be prepared for potential major impacts. We have made a pre-landfall declaration request from FEMA for support, and the federal government has approved a portion of our request for pre-landfall items, and we expect the remaining parts of our request subsequent to landfall for debris and individual assistance once the storm hits will also be approved. We currently have 51 counties under a state of emergency. As of 3 o'clock, Milton has strengthened not just into a major hurricane, but a Category 5 hurricane, and not just a
so this is up to date. This
Category 5
because this morning was Category 4. Now they're saying Category 5
hurricane, but a very strong 175 mile per hour sustained wind. Category 5 hurricane. Now, there's a lot of uncertainty about what is going to happen in terms of this track. It is predicted that this will weaken, but it was not predicted that it would get this strong to begin with. So we can hope and pray that it does weaken. But as of right now, this is a ferocious hurricane. It is currently a little less than 700 miles southwest of Tampa. Storm surge watch has been issued for the Florida Gulf Coast from mainland Monroe County to the Dixie-Levy County line. Possibility of 8 to 12 feet of storm surge is forecast from the Anclote River to Englewood, including Tampa Bay. 5 to 10 foot peak storm surge is forecast from Yankeetown southward to the Anclote River and from Englewood southward to Bonita Beach, including Charlotte Harbor. And those numbers can change and they can go up in certain areas depending on how the storm ultimately approaches the Florida Peninsula. Hurricane watches have been issued for portions of west central Florida and the Nature Coast. Tropical storm watches extend further south and north through southwest Florida and the Keys and along northern Florida. The Florida Division of Emergency Management is actively addressing storm-related resource requests. They're currently in the process of fulfilling 850 missions. They've deployed everything from sandbags to shelf-stable meals to tens of thousands of water bottles to thousands of tarps. We've already sent truckloads of food and water to Central Florida in preparation for points of distribution site subsequent to the storm hitting. We're also coordinating the deployment of more than 2,000 feet of flood protection systems and prioritizing critical infrastructure like hospitals, wastewater treatment facilities, and electrical infrastructure. We have generators deployed to support special needs sheltering. We also have Starlinks deployed in areas that have asked for that. More than 200 ambulances and more than 30 paratransits are in Central Florida.
Starlink is dope. I think eventually I want to get one. I can write it off as a business expense. That shit is dope.
Need to support first responder operations as appropriate. State of Florida is amassing fuel reserves ahead of Milton and staging it to be utilized as needed. Those quantities include 415,000 gallons of diesel, 389,000 gallons of gasoline, and there is, as I mentioned this morning, an additional 1.5 million gallons of both diesel and gasoline that are en route to the state. Now, there is currently no fuel shortage in the state of Florida. Fuel continues to arrive at Florida ports. However, there are long lines at some gas stations, and because you've had a run on gas, there have been gas stations that have run out of fuel, but they are being resupplied with the fuel. So we're going to continue to ensure that we have fuel coming, but they're still coming with the ports. We have some coming on the ground, so people can go. You may be in a line, but if your gas station runs out, there's going to be more fuel on the way. As I've mentioned, we have ramped up support for county debris removal operations. We're working this mission to supplement their mission 24/7 around the clock, and we're going to continue to do that all the way until it is no longer safe to do so. Please, local officials, these vendors, there's been vendors that they don't necessarily do, and then when there's some sunlight and people see they're not doing, then they start to work really hard. We got to get as much of this taken care of as possible. I know with Kevin and with Jared putting the state assets to supplement, it has made a really significant difference. We want to continue to do that. Those barrier islands like Pinellas, Manatee that are under evacuation orders, people obviously should heed those. But once that deadline passes, we're still going to have the debris removal operations ongoing all the way until we start to hit tropical storm force winds. So that's all the rest of today through the night, all day tomorrow, most likely into the beginning of Wednesday morning. So I appreciate all the effort that's gone into that on the state. We have deployed just on the state side to assist with the federal, with the local debris mission, over 300 dump trucks to help with debris. And in the last 36 hours, state assets have been able to do 12,000 cubic yards of debris removed from communities and brought to landfill. That's 663 total loads. So that's been a good mobilization. It will make a difference, but we need to keep doing that to mitigate the harm that could happen once the storm goes. Florida National Guard, State Guard, additional FDOT personnel, and Florida Highway Patrol are all engaged in that debris mission. for the storm. We have 5,000 National Guardsmen that have been mobilized, and we will have, before the storm hits, another 3,000 National Guardsmen that will be on duty. We're also deploying major heavy equipment to assist with debris removal, and of course, National Guard will be a big part of any search and rescue that needs to happen, as well as helping set up our points of distribution. These debris and landfill sites are open, not just from state assets or from the local debris contractors, but for private individuals and citizens. And so if you've got a pickup truck, you can load debris up. We want you to go and do that. I know we've had issues with those sites being being closed when they should be open 24. We've opened them when we've seen that, but let's keep this going until it's no longer safe to do so. We're also coordinating the evacuation of pets from Pinellas, Manatee, and DeSoto counties to Walton County's temporary emergency animal shelter. Obviously, we expect Floridians to take care of their own pets, but you've got some of these pets that are in shelters, and we don't want to see them abandoned in areas that are very, very dangerous. We're also delivering a 2,500-gallon water tanker to Suwannee County Animal Control and coordinating veterinary assistance post-landfall for Hillsborough County. So the linemen that are being pre-staged, as is our practice in Florida, we will have over 30,000 linemen. Many are still en route. Some of them are coming from as far away as California. You still have ongoing major power restoration missions in states like Georgia and North Carolina. That has taken a lot of resources, but all of our companies are committed to utilizing mutual aid. And so you're going to end up having over 30,000, which is a massive number of folks to be staged. And of course, we're anticipating significant power outages. And so it's important that we do that. We have hundreds of state search and rescue personnel embedded in potential impact sites along the West Coast to begin immediate rescue operations as soon as the storm passes. We've established a temporary base camp at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg to support ongoing operations, not just with the current debris mission, but also post-landfall first responder missions. So you should have a plan, and you should be executing your plan, particularly if you're on the west coast of the Florida Peninsula. These evacuation orders have gone out in many of those places. I know more will be coming in areas that have not yet done that. Now's the time to do it. Storm's not going to hit today. Storm's not going to hit tomorrow. We may start to see some bad weather sometime on Wednesday morning, and then obviously we're anticipating sometime Wednesday evening for the storm to make landfall. So please, you do have time to get out, so please do it. Please execute that plan now at this point if you are in one of those danger zones. Gas, I know a lot of people have been filling up their tanks. You have seen some lines in places. I mentioned the fuel.
My tank is
massive
full
amounts of fuel are being brought in.
My vehicle
but
uses
make
a lot of
sure
gas.
you don't want to get caught on an interstate if you don't have gas in your tank. That's not going to be good, especially when so many people are using that. Some people may not know their evacuation zone. If you want to know your evacuation zone, go to floridadisaster.org/know to determine if you were in an evacuation zone. Obviously, a lot of people in the Suncoast part of Florida just went through Hurricane Helene. We saw a lot of storm surge. So I think most people have a good sense of that, but maybe not everybody knows that. So floridadisaster.org/know. Again, keep your eyes out, keep your ears out for any of these evacuations. I know a lot of the counties have already issued that. I think you're going to continue to see some more evacuations. Already we have Charlotte, Citrus, Hernando, Hillsborough, Lee, Manatee, Pasco, and Pinellas that have issued mandatory evacuations for some of their zones. As I mentioned this morning, tolls in West and Central Florida and Alligator Alley are suspended, and they will continue to be suspended until it's no longer necessary. Florida Department of Transportation is opening roadway shoulders as necessary to facilitate evacuation and ease congestion on I-4 and I-75. So the shoulder is completely open all the way until
Chronicles of Shady, how you doing?
I guess it's in SR 417 in Central Florida from Tampa on I-4. that shoulder's open. The shoulder started to be open from the north on 75, I-10 working south. It should be completely open within the next hour. And so those are two roads that can typically have traffic anyways. Right now, the usage on I-75 is about 90% more than what would typically be happening right now. So FDOT will have that shoulder open. That does help to ease congestion and keep it moving as best you can, but just be prepared that there are a lot of people on the roads right now. You got time. It's not as if you have a delay, it's not as if the storm's going to come tonight, but FDOT is doing what they can to ameliorate that and to be able to keep things moving as best as possible. Visit Florida has emergency accommodation modules on Expedia.
So far, I mean, from what I've been hearing, this thing is coming to like the west coast of Florida. Sometimes it does hit the east coast. Like sometimes there's like this weird thing that kind of comes from the bottom and like wraps around towards the east and then goes over like this. But this is coming from the west side. And there's, for the most part, they're saying Tampa. The eye of the hurricane. Like the whole thing is like pretty huge and it's like encompassing Florida. But the main part, you got to get out. They have like a map. You got to get out. Certain areas, you got to get the hell out. Flossie sent me this. Look at this. Space station captures view of colossal hurricane. It's huge. Good shit. My thing with that is that I'm not the type to freak out. Oh my god! Ah! That's not me. I just get some supplies, prepare. I listen when I can, a little bit knowledgeable about what's going on. I'm not an expert, but and people in my area, I mean, it's very anecdotal. I've spoken to a few people, not a lot. Most are not really like freaked out, but if I lived in Tampa, I would probably leave. I probably would leave Tampa, probably, But at the same time, we've had hurricanes that last minute they change. It's going here, it's going here, it's going here, it's going here. Fucking an hour before, last 30 minutes before, it changes to go somewhere else. I think that happened with Irma. I forgot which hurricane it was. Like last minute, it kind of changed. And we did all this stuff to reposition ourselves, and it actually went towards the place that we repositioned ourselves. It's like we went towards the hurricane because it switched up. But I think I'm going to be fine. I don't, even if it does turn my way, I think we're going to be fine. Where I live and where I'm at, it's this building. I looked up the year; it's hurricane compliant. That's the other thing too. They said in some places, if your house or the structure that you're in was built before a certain year, you should probably leave. It's a thing too. Sarasota? I don't know. Let me look it up on the map. I actually talked to this guy today at one of the stores I was in, and he was like, I heard it might go to Sarasota. I did hear that. Sarasota, Florida. I need to get a visual. Let me see where this is at on the map. Oh, damn. So that's a little bit south of Tampa. Let me share this with you guys. Hold on, let me download this. Oh, I gotta convert it. Sarasota is south of Tampa and south of St. Petersburg. But it's still in that vicinity. I don't know if I would leave or not. It's by the water. I don't know. I feel like anytime, it depends how close you are to anytime you're by the beach and the hurricane's coming in that way, I think you have to be a little extra cautious. Sarasota. I mean, seems to be like right there.
Priceline and Booking.com for those evacuating. These modules will continue to provide real-time.
Sarasota has an evacuation order. Okay. I mean, if they're telling you to evacuate, I probably would. I don't know.
Time, hotel availability, and lodging resources. We're working with the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association.
If you have family, if you have friends, you know, like I have options. Yeah, I could go to Tampa, or I have Katrina. I spoke to Katrina today because I was checking on her. She's more up north Florida. We visited her earlier this year. She's like, oh, if you guys ever need to come over here, if I have to leave, if you have, people, friends, if you got to leave a certain area and they're telling you to evacuate, I'd probably follow that order,
To continue to, as is standard in these emergencies, encourage hotels to reduce prices. Floridians who are evacuating because of the storm.
Laura says Cato says Orlando's cooked. I have a friend that told me she has friends in Disney right now, that they're there for the whole week. And so she's like, what are they going to do? Love Star Lurk, thank you. Heck, I'm a hobby fish lady, and if the lights go out, your fish will. I mean, they're going to die. I have some battery charging stuff I can use for a little bit, but...
They typically will offer a distress rate. I know a lot of the properties have already published that. Rosen Properties, Red Roof Inns, Alofts, La Quintas, Motel 6, Best Western, Holiday Inn. And you get a better rate, as well as waiving, in most of those cases, any pet fees. So please bring your pets and make sure that you're taking care of your pets when you're going to those establishments. Uber, just like we did in Hurricane Helene, they are finalizing a code for free rides for those who are evacuating to shelters. We will give you that once it becomes live. I know that shelters will open once the evacuation orders take effect, then the shelters open. And so you're going to see that happening a lot over the next 24 hours. The following counties will close schools beginning tomorrow, Tuesday, October 8th. Charlotte, Citrus, Collier, DeSoto, Glades, Hardy, Hendry, Hernando, Hillsborough, Indian River, Lee, Manatee, Okeechobee.
Port St. Lucie, to me, it's like on the west coast. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. The east coast, the east coast of Florida. Way on the other side. But they're still kind of towards the middle. I mean, I wouldn't be too worried if I was on the other side of where the hurricane's coming in, but... I don't know, like, how long is it going to take for it to cool? Usually once it hits land, at some point it starts to die down, but, I mean, where's North Carolina? Look at North Carolina. Fuck. They got hit so bad. I don't know. Hard to say.
Be Pasco, Pinellas, Polk, Sarasota, and Volusia. You can find your county's emergency management page for specific information related to your county at floridadisaster.org/counties. You will likely have county-specific alerts that will be issued by your county officials. This is right now a storm that is stronger than what any of the models envisioned just 48 hours ago. And in fact, even the models that said it would eventually reach Cat 5 status had it at a relatively weak Cat 5. This is a strong Cat 5. It is intensified very, very rapidly. And while every projection is that it's going to weaken before it hits the coast of Florida, we can't necessarily bank on that. This will produce major damage, whatever ends up happening. But certainly at the strength it is now, this is a really, really strong storm. And the effects of that, not just for the storm surge, but for wind damage and debris, would be really, really significant. So you have time today to execute that plan. You have time to be able to make sure that you and your family and your pets are safe. So please do that. This is not a storm you want to take a risk on. As I've said many times over the last day or two, we can't guarantee where this thing is going to end up making landfall. And it is possible even a very strong storm makes landfall in one part of the peninsula. If you're in a different part, 100 miles north of where it goes in, maybe it's not catastrophic in that area, but there's no way of knowing that. And I would say anything south of where the storm hits is going to have major storm surge, even 100 miles away. So that's going to happen.
Wow.
So we just went through Helene. A lot of people on the Sun Coast saw some significant storm surge. This has the potential to be much more significant than that, and life-threatening. I mean, we had loss of life because of the storm surge that affected the Tampa Bay area with Hurricane Helene. I would imagine that this one would be more life-threatening in many different respects as a result of the strength of this storm and where it may end up hitting ultimately. So please take the appropriate precautions. You got folks on the local level. I've been talking with a lot of the counties. People have been ramping up for this. Everyone was on edge after Helene. Once this thing formed in a system, people have been working really hard. And I know they're working hard to get people evacuated. And I know everyone at the local level is going to be working hard to help any rescues that need to be done, help get people back on their feet. And there's a whole bunch of resources that are being amassed across all levels of government to be able to respond to this storm. We can't affect the track. We can't control how strong or how weak it gets. The only thing that you can affect is what you do and the decisions you make to protect yourself and your families. And so please execute your plan now. We'll hope and pray for the best, but we have to be prepared and we have to expect a major impact in the middle of this week. Okay, Kevin?
Sean, thank you. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because the temperature drops and all that stuff. I mean, I have a warmer in there now, but yeah, of course, if I don't have the power, put a few heavy blankets over the tank. Okay.
Thank you, Governor. Always appreciate the governor's trust in the state emergency response team to get the job done and ensuring that we have all the resources we need as the state braces for yet another hurricane. As the governor has mentioned, we are fulfilling more than 850 mission requests. This afternoon, residents should be finalizing their disaster plans, and if your county calls you to evacuate, you need to do so. I'm actually encouraged by the amount of evacuation that is going on right now, because what's happening right now, these are individuals that are either going to friends, family, or they have the necessary means to do something, and they're doing it well in advance of landfall in a very orderly fashion. They know that the traffic's going to be there. So again, this is actually a good sign that people are starting to get out of harm's way. People now will then start going to the shelters that are opened up at the local level. Please don't forget your pets, as the governor has said. Make sure that you have make sure you have supplies for your children, senior citizens, and people with access and functional needs in your home. If you have a person with access and functional needs in your home, you should have registered with the Florida Special Needs Registry at floridadisaster.org/SNR to provide that information to local first responders ahead of potential storm impacts. Those who live in the evacuation zone and depend on medication or electricity to use medical devices, please listen and evacuate now. If you lose power, there will be no way for you to use your medical devices. Storm surge values have gone up from this morning from 10 feet to now 8 to 12 feet. We had the visual this morning for those that weren't with us. We put that on the side wall over here of 5 feet, 10 feet, and then of course the roof is at 10 feet, 8 inches. So again, 2 feet above that
crazy.
Is what we may experience.
Above the roof, like above the ceiling, is 10 feet.
Several counties have already called for the mandatory evacuations, and I urge you to heed those warnings. I know I keep saying it, but this is very important. If you live in a condo or a high-rise, you must evacuate. Please evacuate out and not up. If you evacuate up, you need to make sure that you have the ability to get up and down the stairs. The elevators will not be working. Visit floridadisaster.org/know and type in your address to determine if you live in an evacuation zone. 24 hours from now will be too late. As long as your gas tank or electric vehicle is halfway full or halfway charged, you should be able to evacuate tens of miles further inland to a safe location and away from the storm surge. The state has fuel and electric vehicle chargers pre-staged along the evacuation routes to support the evacuations if needed. If you are in an evacuation zone and need evacuation assistance, again, if you're in an evacuation zone and you need evacuation assistance, please call 800-729-3600 800-729-3413. That's 800-729-3413. We do have buses running that will come in and supplement county and city pickups. The state has activated the State Assistance Information Line. Residents needing information and resources. Again, this is an information line. It is not I need help line. So if you need information, you can call 1-800-342-3557. That's 1-800-342-3557. And again, we can service individuals in English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. Additional preparedness resources and state updates are on Hurricane Milton can be found by visiting floridadisaster.org/updates. Please make sure for all of the latest information, you're following us on X and Instagram at FLSERT, that's at Florida CERT, and Facebook at FDEM. We're sharing all of those updates in real time, and we have a staff that's doing nothing but working social media. Residents should also have multiple ways to receive weather alerts, and always follow the warnings of your local officials. Connect with your local county emergency management by visiting floridadisaster.org/county. And thank you again, Governor, for your commitment to the residents of the state of Florida and the state emergency response team.
Okay. Jaron, you have an update?
Thank you, Governor, and good afternoon. We continue our debris removal efforts as directed by the Governor. This has been a remarkable partnership between all of the responding state agencies.
I think I might have seen that, Hoax.
The National Guard, the State Guard, FDOT, FDEM, the Florida Department of Agriculture. We're really proud of the progress we've made thus far. You heard the Governor. We've already removed over 12,000 cubic yards of debris in just 36 hours. That's 663 loads. We have over 300 dump trucks in circulation. Right now, we have made this a primary mission in getting ready for the impact of Hurricane Milton, and we're going to continue those efforts until it's no longer safe to do so. We have state employees out there working right now that live within the cone of where this storm is going to hit. They're removing debris for our local communities. We encourage all of our local governments, all of our local municipalities, please marshal every resource available to join with us in removing this debris before Hurricane Milton hits. Debris contractors, debris vendors, we've heard things about showing up here, not showing up there. We're encouraging you, we're asking you, please bring your resources that are available to the area to remove debris before Hurricane Milton makes impact. We have begun suspending construction on all of our construction projects.
All right, I mean, I feel like we get the drift. Hurricane's coming. Category 5. Let's see, hurricane update. I feel like with this kind of stuff, let me see. Is that Hey Ryan guy live right now? Hey Ryan guy. Hey Hurricane. Hey Ryan. Oh no, I think he said he's not going to start till tomorrow, right? I thought he said tomorrow he's going to start doing it or something. He's going to start doing live updates or something like that. Category 5! Hurricane party. If I can stream... Wait, what happened to the outside garden? What happened to the camera? What? It shut off. Okay, I have to go fix that. What? I'm gonna fix that. We gotta have the outside camera. Hey Ryan. Hey Ryan. Hurricane's coming. End of the world. Are you ready? Let me see if I can get the camera to turn on. Hurricane's coming. Are you ready? Come on, tell me why. Tell me why. Good. Hurricane's coming. I think the battery died. It wasn't plugged into the... Yeah, the battery died. That's what happened. It wasn't plugged in. All right. But yeah, I'm not really... Honestly, I'm not freaked out. But I also don't take things for granted. That's why I'm prepared. But it's not coming from me directly. But you never know if it changes. And I also want to make sure Maddie's comfortable, you know? Somebody, Volcaholic said, how the fuck do you live where you do when there's a place called Alligator Alley? Oh, Alligator Alley, I've driven down there before. Alligator Alley. Cinema Shogun posted this earlier. I like this guy. It says here, here's what FEMA talks about during their disaster preparedness meetings. This is why the people who lost everything in Hurricane Helene aren't getting the help they need. FEMA is a bunch of they, them fucking weirdos. Instead of talking about how they can save people stranded on a roof. Okay, this is...
Sparked a few things in my mind, thinking about preparedness and how you said, LGBTQIA people and people who have been disadvantaged already are...
I didn't know who was talking, and I realized this person on the side.
Struggling. Wow. They already have their own things to deal with. So you add a disaster on top of that. It's just compounding on itself. And I think that is maybe the why of why we're having...
Is this really FEMA?
These discussions is because it isn't being talked about. It isn't being socialized. We're not paying attention to this community.
Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't want to say anything too controversial, but when there's a crisis, nobody gives a fuck about your sexual or your orientation, who you're fucking, who you're sucking, or it's a crisis. People need some help. Let's rescue some people. Let's get some supplies. I don't know. I feel like some of these people, everything's about them. They want all this fucking attention. It's not about you. It's about the people that are in the moment in time that need help. What is this shit?
Thank you so much. Maggie.
Thank you. There are a couple of things that are intersecting in my mind here.
What?
One of them is the culture of emergency management as an organization, as an industry in the United States specifically, not abroad.
These are the people you gotta fire and get rid of, honestly. You have to, because especially when you think about the Hurricane Helene, people have died. I thought the number's 100 plus. Is this the conversations going on behind the scenes? I'm sure it was public, but this is the organizational meeting, the strategy meetings?
And my cat sometimes does this. She gets really loud suddenly, so you have to just allow for the little meowing in the background. The shift that we're seeing right now is a shift in emergency management from utilitarian principles where everything is designed for the greatest good for the greatest amount of people to disaster equity.
What?
But we have to do more, right? And so this topic is intersecting, I think, with a number of other topics where we have to look at policies and understand to what extent they have disadvantaged communities that had less assets, communities that had pre-existing vulnerabilities in accessing disaster-related recovery.
I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know. I don't know. I guess I would have to see the whole video, but that's a little weird.
Sparked a few things.
All right, let me see what else is going on with the hurricane stuff. I mean, I don't care what you identify. That doesn't even matter. If somebody's dying or need help or stranded or drowning, let's help them. Hurricane. You know what? Let's call. Hold on. Let me see if Bueller answers. Bueller. Please, Xfinity texted me. They just texted me talking about, hey, I don't have Comcast anymore, but I paid for my mother's internet for a long time until recently. So she's paying, but it says Hurricane Milton may impact your area this week, causing power outages. The worst service I've ever had in my life. Now they're sending a courtesy text. it might affect your area. Bro, you guys have worse service when there's no hurricane. Okay, let me see. Bueller. I don't know if he's going to answer or not. Bueller.
Yo.
Yo, you're on stream, by the way.
Oh, okay.
It's like, let me behave. Yo, how are you guys doing out there? What's going on? What are your thoughts? I know we talked last night.
Yeah, we're doing, it's definitely better now. I mean, it's like 5 days without anything, really, from anyone, so.
You have power now?
Yeah, we have power now. We have, Spectrum Wi-Fi will be down forever. They have, like, a monopoly in Western Carolina,
Right.
which sucks, right? So, I got AT&T, right after I got off the phone with you yesterday, AT&T box starts lighting up red. I'm like, oh no, I stayed kind of my blessing early. Essentially, the like wireless box for fiber optics is located in Chimney Rock. They got blown out, so they have to route all the internet traffic to different areas of the United States. So I'm in North Carolina, Charlotte or Asheville, and it's routing to like Washington. So my internet is so slow. But it's better now. It was like a lot of hysteria for a few days, especially with like everything being shut down. And there's no, I don't know why they do it, but they don't have like all businesses in Nashville. There's no law that you have to have a generator, which they probably shouldn't put into effect because they all everything closed.
Wow. Let me ask you. So, have you been able to buy like food now? Or, I mean, were you able to use your debit card, or did you have to use cash, or what's up with that?
Yeah. So if they had a generator, so the Publix, right? Publix is owned by it's like a Florida entity, right? They were the only company that had the generator, so you could use. I was using my debit card at Publix from Thursday to Sunday, but anywhere else you had to use cash.
Wow. That's the one thing I've heard some people say, and even when I've had hurricanes down here, people say like you should have a little bit of cash because like even once the hurricane passes, some of these businesses they can't take debit or credit or whatever. You have to pay cash to get some food or drink or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely learn your lesson after something like this, right? It's like definitely have money on you. Prepare. I woke up Friday morning as a guy who orders everything on DoorDash for his food, with no water, no food, no nothing. And then after a few hours, the panic starts kicking in.
So you have power now?
Yeah. So power is all set. Like the FEMA stuff, the FEMA and all that, like even today's stuff is coming out about, like essentially FEMA paid $4 billion if you look it up, Mel, and I don't want to get too political, but $4 billion in September to like an illegal immigration thing.
Is that true?
I just saw it, so I don't want to maybe sound like an idiot saying that, but it's like there's a reason why some of these people were blocked out, right? The company Prestige, or like some company in Atlanta that charged these people $5,000 to get out. It made sense after a while that these people, essentially the government had to take over, and in tragedy there's people that are always going to profit.
Of course. So what was that whole $5,000 story? Like this family supposedly had to pay like $5,000 for a helicopter rescue?
It was like a mom and like a family, but the family contained obviously a mom and like an infant child that didn't have baby formula. And it was they were talking about it a lot in Asheville on Facebook and Reddit, and like they dropped the address as well, but essentially like this company came in and they got them. I mean, thank God they got saved. But you never know in Asheville who can afford $5,000.
Of course, no, a lot of people can't. Just everywhere in general, people don't have $5,000. Drop like whatever, like come get me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's like I told you, these trees, I've never seen anything like it, just like fully uprooted. Like the wind, crazy. Like loot. They're going crazy about the looting, but the looting is specifically in one part of Asheville, which is like Tunnel Road, and it's where all the homeless people live. So they're just looting for like the liquor stores and everything. So it's not like people are breaking into. They're like the average day citizen is breaking in.
They're looting the liquor stores in that specific area. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Well,
yeah.
We'll be prepared for next one, and you gotta get prepared now too.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good. I mean, I have a lot of supplies, and the building I'm in is like hurricane compliance and stuff. I don't know if these windows are impact windows. I almost want to ask these people. I don't think they are. But the building has it's up to par for hurricanes and stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say, it looks like you're pretty high up, so you're gonna have to have some Sharknado type of shit to have impact on the windows.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad you're okay, and I'll keep you posted about the shit going on over here. And I guess we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be. Maybe I'll be calling you and putting you on stream next.
I know. All right, man.
Because you won't have Wi-Fi, but
I
take
might
it easy.
not. Yeah. All right, dude. Yeah, take care, man. So that's Bueller, and he's in North Carolina, and he's a subscriber and stuff. And I talked to him a little bit last night. We had a pretty good, funny conversation. And I don't know what's going on out there, man. I had another video that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's check this out.
They're still not there anywhere? What are you seeing from FEMA in the federal response, if any?
This was 2 days ago.
I mean, they're present. They're in the way. They are directly interrupting our ability to conduct missions and operations. And I'm not going to disparage anybody, because we are trying to work within partner relationships, both government and non-government entities within state and federal and county. I went to put a couple of people into a hotel last night, and they have a security guard at the hotel. And they said, "Oh, we're so sorry. The entire hotel has been booked for federal employees." And I was like, no, I have people that would just pull it out of a mountain that are living out in the hills, and there's not a place for me to put them because we have federal employees that are staying in the hotel. I slept in this white car last night. I smell like foot and death right now, as does every single person on our team. Not a single one of us slept. We got done maybe at 3 o'clock. The moment the sun was up and we could fly helicopters again, we were back in the air, and we have not stopped. And I was like on the fence about trying to get on this program or not. I want people to understand how incredible this organization is, Save Our Allies, and all the work that all of these volunteers are doing. But people, this is biblical level devastation. This is apocalyptic, the things that we see out there.
These are towns up in the mountains that are 10, 20, 40 miles away from any other town. And people on the ground like you need helicopters from the government, and they will not release them. I have heard that time and again. And the people who are delivering aid up in the mountains are now getting requests for body bags. Tim, we got to
you are 100% correct. Oh, you're right about that. And there was a no-fly when the president flew in today. We had to land helicopters to not go rescue people so a photo op could take place. And that's a travesty, and that's unconscionable.
If people want to donate, is it SaveOurAllies.com?
That's right. And if somebody is stuck somewhere, or you know somebody that's stuck, you can go to SaveOurAllies.org, and you can click on there. Let us know. We have people going all over in the places that can't be reached. That's why we have special operations people working with partnerships to get into those areas. So go there, support that organization, and also let us know where to go.
Another quick clip. Well, I haven't watched this yet, but this lady's from North Carolina.
Hey, family.
This was 5 days ago.
We're up at their neighbors.
4 days ago.
We can't see any of y'all's Marcos at this time, and I don't know when, and I don't know if this is going to go through. We're doing okay.
North Carolina related. Oh, she got a really beautiful view, though. Wow.
Trying
I wanna
to
be up in the
get
mountains,
my
too.
voice here.
The thing is, internet matters to me. That's one of the... Whenever I move to a place, if the internet's not right, everything else is... I'm shutting it all. It's all gone. Fuck it. I don't care how nice... If you don't have fiber optic, and it's Comcast or some other BS, you're done. The whole transaction is canceled. It won't even be a transaction.
My tears are from the stories.
That's a beautiful place.
That I've heard from people that I have met and talked to. We're okay. It's just thinking about...
Deal breaker, right?
Thinking about what so many people are going through is horrifying. A woman and her husband left their home. They came back the next day and found they had 15 cats, 5 dogs, and a father-in-law. And found them all dead except for 4 cats. And the story was hard to hear. But it's the look in her eyes that I can't forget. Last night, somebody was at the river and just looking at the destruction and cars upside down and saw Halloween costumes floating down
Halloween costumes?
a river. And then she saw faces and realized they weren't costumes. She said, I've seen bodies and I'm not okay with that. And then somebody called and said, when is somebody gonna come collect all the bodies that have piled up along the embankment of the river? And then a man called saying, I need 911 at my house. And somebody said, why? Are you okay? And he said, yes, I'm okay. But I opened my front door and there are several bodies in my front yard.
I can't imagine. The first time I ever seen a dead body, I was visiting Dominican Republic with my family, and there was a place called La Concha. It was like a basketball court. And I heard some, like, shots fired or something. I don't know why. There was something I heard, like a loud bang, and there was rumors going on, and me and, like, my cousin or somebody, we ran over to the basketball court, and there was somebody dead. That's the first time I seen somebody deceased. And it was kind of shocking for me at the time. I was young. I was under 18. I was a kid. And then a couple of times at the hospital, I used to work at the hospital. I worked at 2 different hospitals. There was times where I seen somebody, like, either dead or on the verge of death. And it's always, I mean, for me, it's kind of grim and weird. But for some people, they get desensitized. And I don't know. I guess if you're in that medical field, that's a possibility, you know.
This is the stuff I'm having a hard time with. Because I want to make it better for everybody and I can't do anything. So anyway, these tears aren't about us, and I didn't mean to cry, but I can't talk about this without this. And I'm sure because the emotional stress that we're under right now is beyond anything we've experienced. So anyway, I'm just checking in to let you know we're okay. We still are at the house where we get the water. We're gonna do our neighborhood today. Yesterday we made pizza and took it to several neighbors. Today we're we're putting cheese and happy hour stuff together, and we're going to take it to neighbors. Just everybody get, you know, little cups, and just to kind of
2,000? No, she said
lighten the
2,000.
spirits with some spirits. And then our neighbors, the Sellers, invited us over for spaghetti, so we're going to go there after the happy hour. Unfortunately, I'm still gluten-free during this, so I'll be making my own pasta and bringing it. So I'm just touching base, giving y'all a face. Y'all haven't had one. It's this face, this one that bathes. I take baths out in the rain. Or we do sponge baths in the bathroom. It's a very cold way to bathe, but I'm clean every day at the end of the day.
All right, let me play some other clips. This one says Tampa residents who were hit hard by Helene are now preparing for Hurricane Milton. It's one of the biggest things they're talking about, like all this debris that's out there.
All right, so we are currently, it's Sunday. We're currently in the path for Milton.
All this debris out there.
Tampa, Florida. It's not looking good right now. It's going to be, I think, a way heavier storm. This is what
they still have all this
street looks like right now
out there, and like they're saying, well, okay, we need to get this stuff loaded up on trucks. We gotta like put it away, because what happens is all this stuff can become projectile. All this stuff can start flying in the air and do more damage than already it could do. Like it can enhance the damage
everywhere.
Oh my gosh!
All the way down there.
Wow!
All the way down there.
Jeez!
If it's 110 mile an hour wind with a storm surge, I just pray to God the house doesn't get destroyed. I mean, if the storm surge is anything like the rest, or last week, or even bigger, it's going to be extremely detrimental. Like, Tampa's already going to be fucked, and everything south of Tampa. But we're getting a U-Haul, trying to pack up as much stuff as we can. This is the first hurricane ever I'm leaving for. So, all right, so we are currently, it's Sunday. We're currently...
Let me show you. Let's start off with a Category 1 storm. And the damage here, not too bad. A couple of shingles fall off. You can have some palm fronds bending in the wind, but everything basically remains intact. Category 2, that's where you really start to feel it. Look at the windows of the house. They can be hit from debris from the outside and already start breaking in a Category 2. Your trees are significantly bent over in the wind, and the siding of the house itself can break.
Category 2 is 100.
Flapping there in the wind, adding to those eerie noises inside. Category 3. I've heard only a Category 3, but it's not only anything except really bad news. In a Category 3, you can have the door of the house blown in because the winds get so strong. You can have the roof of the house start to flap up and down in the wind because it can lift off those weak points, and a lot of those trees start to fall. Category 4, the damage is even worse. You get most trees falling, most of your windows breaking, most of your shingles fly away, and then Cat 5 is as high as the category scale goes. By Cat 5, no shingles remain anywhere nearby. The holes in the roof get so big that the walls of the house start to fall because they're not attached to anything anymore. There won't be any trees up in the neighborhood. That's just catastrophic damage. But again, that's just from the wind, and there are other impacts from hurricanes, and they all vary through the season. So stick with the Weather Channel to keep you safe when the tropics head towards your neck.
Whoa. Mamma mia. It's time to go. You gotta go, man. It's just time to go. Remember years ago they showed this video of this hurricane? I put it on Discord. Let me see, hold on. If you don't leave, it's over. It's over for you.
One storm, 80 miles per hour. We're looking at some damage to unanchored mobile homes, trees, and shrubs. This is now a Category 2 storm, 100 mile per hour winds.
The heck?
There is no way you can stand in this.
Okay.
Significant damage to roofs, to windows.
Jesus.
This is now a Category 3, 115 miles per hour.
Oh my God, what's wrong with this guy?
Pulling my cheeks and my skin.
Bro, this guy, it's pulling my skin and my cheeks.
My skin back. Anything that isn't
What the heck?
right now would be uprooted.
Oh, he's being held down.
After just a few minutes in Cat 3 winds last year, the engineers said enough.
The fun thing about this too is that like during that time where they were like, you gotta get out, you're gonna die, everything's run. They showed this video on the news about these people in Cuba, but they were just casually walking. So
Through
crazy.
that storm making its way. Unfortunate there. Let's keep going here. If we can show you Cuba, the coastal town. This is the
Did they
better
worry about
view
hurricane?
here because that's where you're seeing that Category 5 going over Cuba. We're talking about 160 miles over the northern coast. This
That's
is
JLR
Nevada.
storm chasing.
Hurricane Irma blowing through, and then this video is probably the most startling. Yeah, well there it is. Those cars. They're driving in these conditions.
And keep watching here as we continue to play out this video. We've watched it a few times, and we asked the producers to bring this back because there were actually some people walking along the boardwalk, along the beach as well. So we were just talking with Angie Lastman about this video you're looking at here. And for the last 3 days, we have been putting out these warnings and mandatory evacuations all over the place and everything that goes along with this particular storm. And so as it is passing now over the northern portion of
Just going for a stroll. It's a category, it's the end of the world, but they're just going for a stroll along the boardwalk. Wow.
Cuba, not very far outside of Havana. There you are.
This is nice.
You see these people, they're walking, it's hard to tell whether they're walking to or from
Start picking up the pace there.
I'll never forget that. All right. Let me see if there's anything else going on right now. But anyway, right now, like everything's. I mean, at least on my side, it's chill right now. There's nothing. They're saying tomorrow night or evening, maybe things are gonna pick up. I think the hurricane's still like a couple of 100 miles out.
Winds, though, are expected to increase late on Tuesday. And we've been hearing about a life-threatening storm surge. This storm surge could be 6 to 12 feet, depending on where you are. There could be rainfall as much as 15 inches in localized areas. And there's also, of course, the wind shear. And Florida laws really do have those strong structures in place. But when you're talking about winds around 180 miles an hour, that is when they say that you have to be incredibly vigilant about it. We also know that Tampa International Airport is closing tomorrow morning. No more flights there. And Orlando International Airport will be closing their flights on Wednesday. A short time ago, we were hearing from Tampa International Airport officials, and I do want to just play a portion of that for you right now. Let's listen in.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here we go again. Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. My name is John Tiliakis. I'm the Executive Vice President of Airport Operations here at Tampa International Airport. As an airport, safety is at the core of everything we do here at TPA, and as such, our team has been planning and executing.
Okay. Tina was telling me too that like she had a family member, I think her father, somebody was trying to leave Florida, and they did, but the tickets are really expensive. They had to pay a lot of money just to get out. They upsell the tickets right now. You got to pay a whole. If you want to get out of Florida by plane, oh, you're gonna have to pay for that shit. You're gonna have to, yeah. Mm-hmm. I go outside to smoke during any light. Really, you do? Well, we get a lot of storms here, man. We get a lot of storms all the time. I like the rain and the thunderstorms too. There's something relaxing about it. Kind of for me. All right. I guess I'm gonna jump off for now. In a little bit, I'm gonna see if I can set up the grill. That I could do the conditioning thing. Well, I gotta wait for the conditioner to come. Let me see. It's coming. It's supposed to be tonight, unless they change it on me. Arriving by 10 p.m. It was cheaper to order it on Amazon, so I have this whole kit coming. I have a kit for the grill and a conditioner thing for the grill coming tonight. So hopefully I can test it out. Blackstone griddle seasoning and cast iron conditioner. So we'll test it out. I told my mother about it. She's like, "Okay, you make sure you're gonna put the propane outside." I said, "Yeah, Ma, don't worry. So you don't want the place to blow up." No, put it outside. The only thing is, I guess I'm gonna have to tie it down. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I have 2 little propane tanks. I guess I'll tie it down. I don't know how I'm gonna. I don't know. Zip tie that shit? No, they said to anchor it down. One of my friends was like, "Oh, just keep it inside," but they tell you shouldn't keep any propane tanks inside. My friend was like, "Just keep that shit inside, man. Come on, put that shit inside." Oh, did I get a grease catcher? I don't think so. Oh god, I didn't even think about that. No, I don't think I did. It's like this whole spatula set that like has all this like. Let me see if I can fix it. Yeah. I gotta cut my nails. My nails are long. I don't know where the nail cutter is at, but okay, there we go. That's the set that's coming tonight, and plus the conditioner too as well. But I didn't get the grease thing that you're talking about. Don't hit the tank. You can turn it off and bring it inside. Okay. All right, but I'll keep you guys posted, man. I really don't think I appreciate the people like reaching out and are you okay? I appreciate that, but I don't think. But you never know. I don't think anything great. I think it's gonna for me. I think it's gonna be wind, thunder, rain, flooding, and power outages. I don't think the building's gonna come apart. I'm like more inland. I'm not mid Florida. I'm South Florida. And I don't know. Unless things change, you never know. But I don't think it's gonna be so bad for me. But I hope that those people that are in those areas are safe. If I was in Tampa, I would leave. If I was in Tampa, I would leave. I would, knowing I have a kid, I would not stay in Tampa. You know. But I don't know. I gotta find out about my family that's out there. Are they gonna leave or not? Oh, I heard about that too, Lachola. Sarah Boone rejected her plea deal. She had a plea deal of like, what was it, 15 years? It reminds me of the Tim Faraday, the Faradays. The father that had a really nice plea deal, like 2 years, rejected it. Now he's going to serve a way longer time. Right? You're in Miami, Barbara? Okay. But be safe. I think you're going to be good, but be safe. I'm in Broward. All right, guys, have a good night. If something pops off tonight, hopefully get something. We need a chase. We need a standoff. We need something crazy to happen. If something crazy happens tonight, let's do it. I'll come back. All right. Peace. Bye. Hey, Kayla. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop.